Hello, friends, and
Hi.
welcome to Somewhat Useful. I'm Will Myers,
And I'm Christy Price.
and on this show, we'll be discussing the topics shaping the world of digital entrepreneurship and tackling questions about Squarespace and web design. We're figuring this world out one website at a time, and I hope you find this somewhat useful.
Somewhat useful. We're back with yet another bonus episode before we kick off season 6 of Somewhat Useful. And this one is extra special because we have 2 superstars from the Squarespace Circle team joining us to talk about the brand new report on the state of the web design industry. But before we dive into that, let's quickly cover some of the new things since we saw you last. Will?
So we're live. This is the fun of live. Are Sam and Sarah live with us on right now?
Oh, they are. I forgot to remove
You know
them.
what? So let's
Hi,
just
you're
introduce them
here.
right now.
Yes.
This is Sam and Sarah. They are with us. They're from the Squarespace Circle team. And just if you have not had the chance to meet either one of them, they're just wonderful, wonderful people.
So we'll hide you for a minute and then we'll bring you back on with a full intro.
See y'all in a second. So we have a lot of Squarespace updates. It has been a few months since we've done one of these, and let's just quickly go over a few of the important ones for us. So you want to start off?
Yeah, so one of the new things that I've been playing around with is pay links, which is really cool. So now you can basically just generate a pay link to collect payment for anything for a particular amount, or you can even let people choose the amount they're going to pay you. Generate a pay link. So like if you're at a farmer's market and you're selling jars of jam, you can just set up a QR code for your jars of jam. People come, scan, pay, they get their jam and go. So really excited about this one.
Oh, that's really, and again, I guess we could do that for website and stuff work as well.
You could.
Hey, what do you think this website's worth? Just leave it blank and put it in.
$5.
Yeah, you might want to set a lower threshold on that.
You can, yeah.
Another cool one is the SEO AIO visibility tab, AI visibility tab.
AIO.
AIO. I think we've talked about this one before, but it just keeps getting like a little bit more. Like we get these little incremental improvements on them, and it's really cool. I actually just dove into it more this morning to try and understand it a bit more. And they have the SEO image alt tag part where you can.
I've been using that. Tag. It's great.
You?
Yes, I've been using it. So I wait until I used to do the image alt text as I went, like every time I uploaded an image, but now it's so much faster to wait until the end and then just go through that process and let the AI generate everything like a first pass on all the alt text. And then I tweak it because I mean, the AI tries, but it doesn't know my keywords really. So, but it gets me close and it saves a ton of time. So huge time saver. Yeah.
Having it all in one place is the biggest benefit for me.
Yeah.
You can just go through and update all your image alt tags all at once. And then there is the AI visibility area, which is really interesting. It creates 10 different prompts, 5 branded towards your website. So prompts using your brand name in it. And then 5 that are just about your general industry. And then it'll go and ask, I think ChatGPT, ask questions, those 10 different questions, and see if your website comes back in the results.
I haven't done this yet.
Some ideas about like
did you do
ways
it?
You can improve it. I did, and it was pretty illuminating. I was like, oh, I'm top for the branded one. So if it says someone asks about Will Myers, it knows of me. So that's really good. But then the 5 non-branded ones, just about Squarespace plugins and Squarespace code, I was in 2 of the 5. So I need to go back and update, maybe write some articles or something about it.
So cool to know. I definitely need to do that. I've been starting to get inquiries where people are saying, I found you on ChatGPT, which is cool, but I don't know like what their queries are, what I'm showing up for. So it'd be really cool to dive into. Very cool.
Reverse engineering AI is a great way to sort of figure out the branding and how all this marketing is going to work in the next stage.
Yeah. All right. So, Sam, Sarah, I'm sorry. I have a bone to pick with Squarespace.
Oof, yeah, me too. I think I'm in this camp. This is
okay, you guys. For the last 5 years, anytime I've added a team section to the website, I've used the, the team pre-made sections. And my friends Monet and Emmett and Eleanor are there.
Great people.
Great people. I've bonded with them. And now Monet and Emmett and Eleanor, their names are still there, but those people are different
Pictures.
people.
That's not them.
It reminds
That's
me of
them.
like a 90s sitcom when they change one of the main characters partway through, like
Mhm.
and like nobody mentions it.
Yeah. I in my head when I saw it, I thought of like some horror movie where like everyone's replaced and everyone knows you, but everyone you see is like different, and you're like, no, what's going on? It's like a
I love
psychological
this.
thriller. That's kind of
Wait,
how I feel.
we entered a dystopian Squarespace universe?
Yeah. So the placeholder images have switched for Monet, Emmett, and Eleanor.
Yeah,
And
goodbye,
it's fine.
previous Monet, Emmett, and Eleanor. You served
But
us
the other
well.
images are pretty glamorous. I'm not gonna lie.
They do. I mean,
They're
they
pretty
look
good.
really cool, but I miss my people.
Mm-hmm. The next one, this is apropos for today, is the
Mhm.
Squarespace Circle partnership program.
This is so exciting.
It has no more referral threshold. So if you are part of
Yeah.
the Squarespace Circle program and you give a referral, there's no threshold to start getting the referral,
Your money.
the money. Right.
Yeah.
It's great. You just start earning on any subscription. So that's a big.
Previously, you had to
thank you,
kind of
Circle.
meet a quota of sites before you start getting those payouts. And now you just get them immediately on site one or subscription one. So super excited for that one. Yeah.
There we go.
We like
Those
money.
are our updates. We do, we do like money. Also, very grateful to everyone who has been messaging me or Christy about the Somewhat Useful podcast. We've just
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed hearing from you. Please keep it coming. And if there's anything you are particularly curious about or want to know our thoughts about, or just want to hear reported a little bit about Squarespace and web design and AI and all that stuff, let us know. We are
Let
very
us
much
know.
open ears.
But it means a lot when you just take a second to shoot us a message and say, hey, I listened. We really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about how other web designers feel about AI. And we're going to be the anchor piece of our discussion today is the State of the Web Design Industry Report, which is put together each year by the Squarespace Circle team, who's partnering with us for this episode. But before we jump into that, we want to thank the Squarespace Circle team for sponsoring this episode and shout out some of our favorite benefits of the Circle program, which is totally free to join.
Yes. And thank you, Squarespace Circle. One of my favorite benefits of Circle is that I can offer clients extended website trials and discounts on their Squarespace site subscriptions. So extra time to build the site is great, and everybody loves a discount. So it's win-win-win.
Win.
And I also really appreciate the free events that Squarespace offers to Circle partners, like Circle Live, which is the monthly online talk show about scaling a web design business. And Will and I, drum roll, will be guests on later this month. And my other favorite thing about Circle, you guys know, Circle Day, my favorite work day of the year.
Yeah. Circle Day and just the community at large. That is my favorite part about it. Whether you are a Squarespace expert or you're just a Squarespace curious, just sort of dabbling in the Squarespace universe, or just a web designer, the Circle community is amazing for you. Everyone is always game to hang out in person and online to answer your questions about Squarespace, or just offering advice about managing a creative or web design business. There isn't a feeling of competition, just smart, talented creatives supporting other smart, talented creatives like yourself. The Circle partnership is completely free. Just visit squarespace.com/circle to join. We'll see you in the Circle forum.
I think that's a really great thing that you hit on, Will, is that having been a part of other web design communities for other website builders in the past, there was this like, I'm not going to share my secrets. I'm going to gatekeep everything, and I'm not telling you how I do things. And the Squarespace community the Circle community is completely the opposite. It is very much transparent, caring, a wonderful group of people. So kudos to the Squarespace Circle team for creating that kind of environment. We really appreciate it. It's a great place to hang out.
Snaps.
Yeah. So let's bring on Sarah Greisdorf and Sam Zelitch from Squarespace Circle to talk about the State of the Web Design Industry Report. Sarah is the team lead of the Channel Partner Program, and Sam is the Senior Community Events Manager. Welcome, guys. We're so happy you're here.
Welcome.
Thanks. We're super excited to be here.
Welcome officially. I guess we had you on 8 minutes ago, but welcome.
Yes, welcome back.
So good to be
Welcome
back on the show.
Right, welcome back. Okay, so let's just jump into this. The state of the let me restart there. The State of Web Design Industry report. It's a big report. There's a lot going on in that. So we're going to focus our discussion here on the impact AI is having on the web design industry. And then we will be joining you live in a few weeks to talk about the rest of the report. So I'd like to start with this piece from the report that I found really, really fascinating. Compared to last year, more Circle partners are likely to say they're somewhat or very pessimistic about the role of AI in website creation. But 88% of Circle partners who have used AI said it's had a positive impact on their business. So we got a tension there, discrepancy there. So there's this tension between it being useful on an individual level, but being pessimistic on a higher level. So Sarah, we'll start with you. Why do you feel like the idea of AI is threatening, while the experience of using it seems to be overwhelmingly positive on an individual level?
Yeah, great question to start us off. And thanks again for having us, guys. Really excited to be
Absolutely.
here. I think the data here is so interesting. If we look at last year, we saw a smaller number of partners saying that they were undecided with how they feel about AI. And what we feel like this year is that people have really kind of like taken a side a bit. Those who are like, now I'm like more nervous about it than I've ever been. And those that are like, actually, it's not so bad and maybe it can help me. And I think I like totally understand both sides of that, right? I think as compared to where we were a year or 2 years ago, it feels like AI is like basically everywhere. And
Yeah.
I think it can feel overwhelming of like, I don't know how I can jump into this river that feels like it's just continuing to flow.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not sure that I want to like incorporate AI into everything. I don't know what the environmental impact is. I don't know. I don't want to like give away my sense of creative thought, which I know what we're going to talk about. But I think that, as you shared and as you can see in the report, like those that have given it a chance in some way or another are actually finding it really beneficial to their work. And I think we found the same thing working here at Squarespace in the ways that we've been able to incorporate AI in ways that feel like that's the right thing for AI in this moment, things that feel discreet. No one's making a decision for me. I'm still making a decision. It feels like the right thing. And I think we're just seeing that reflected in the report.
Sam, what about you? Are you seeing it personally with your work at all, where you're kind of feeling this discrepancy between like, oh wow, I'm using this and this is super helpful, and also this is super helpful, like other people can use it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just a case example for me is I find it incredibly useful for developing briefs. Even though I'm not web designing as much as you all are, talking about web design as much as you all are, I have designed websites, and one of the things that I use it for in the initial stages of a process is, you get a lot of ideas out on the page and it can be pretty messy. Taking those ideas and formatting them into a brief for a potential client is incredibly helpful. I find that it's one step of the process that it can speed up dramatically for me.
Yeah. Putting the briefs together. I know I'm feeling this a lot. I live in this space between, wow, this is incredibly helpful. Like every single bit of AI code that I've touched has made me go a lot faster. And a lot of it is really good code. You have to review a lot of it, of course. And then also like, well, wait, what is my job? If this thing can write all of it, what am I here for? And I don't know. I don't have the answers. I feel myself mentally changing from a coder to a software engineer, because engineer is more like architecting, not just like coding. But there's a lot going on here. Christy, what about you?
Yeah, I feel like I use it in a lot of different ways in work. And specifically, when I'm trying to figure things out, I'll have it ask me questions to maybe help prompt ideas that I hadn't thought of. For a while, I was using it to help do everything, like respond to emails and stuff. And then one day I was like, I'm going to do this myself. And I'm like, I forgot how to write an email. So I don't use it for that anymore. I'm just like, no, I need to be sure that I can do these things. So for me, I'm trying to use it more as a thought partner, I think, than actionable. Although I do use Robo Will a lot for code. So
Hey,
there's
thank
that.
you. There we go.
Yeah. I want to change gears for a second and talk about feeling fulfilled in your work. So I think it's one of the main reasons we entrepreneurs live this life is we get this feeling of fulfillment from what we do. So from the report, 81% of Circle partners say they feel creatively fulfilled, which is pretty awesome. And those who've used AI tools to help build websites report even higher levels of fulfillment than those who haven't, about 8% more. I'm wondering if AI is removing drudgery or maybe allows you to play around with different ideas more quickly, or maybe it's just to get through your work faster. And I'm curious, Sam, what do you think is driving that higher sense of creative fulfillment?
Yeah. So I'd say that removing drudgery is a huge
Mhm.
part of it, at least
Mhm.
speaking from my own experience. But I can also say that in the report, there are people are reporting that there are certain things that they don't want AI to do for them. For
Mhm.
instance, reduce opportunities for creativity or innovation,
Yeah.
undermine their expertise and professional identity, and replace their judgment in complex or nuanced situations. Those are direct
Mhm.
quotes from people who contributed to the report. Um, like I said, taking that sort of initial stage of the creative process that can sometimes be a mess, I don't want to. I'm a creative person. I don't want to outsource a brainstorm, for instance.
Mhm.
I think that um, to a certain extent, I get what you're saying, Christy, about using it as a thought partner, but
Mhm.
I also really just enjoy those initial stages where you're bringing a group of people together and
Yeah.
asking, what we got a blank page here. What do we do? Let's get some stuff
Mhm.
on the board. That's something that I definitely want to keep at a human level. But once we
Mhm.
have everything up on the board and it's a complete mess, the thing that it's really helping me do is take that mess and generate something that's organized and structured and I can deliver to a bunch of humans to read. So I think as as part of like playing around with ideas, I think that that's something that I want to keep human, but
Mhm.
the organization of those ideas is something that I find AI to be very helpful with. I imagine it could be same for you all Circle members.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the way that I use it too, like in web design. So I don't use it for design layouts and things like that. Like that's me. Like I've been doing this for 20 something years. That's me. I'm not going to trust the AI to do that. But we were talking earlier about the SEO tools that Squarespace rolled out and like those alt text things. Oh my goodness. Yes. Save me time, pre-populate that and let me just tweak it because that's not creative or interesting for me to do. It was just
Put
a
it
task
together.
that I
Yeah.
had to get through. So, so
Yeah.
that's for me something that I use it for.
And
Um,
also,
well,
I'm hearing that there's like two different level in the brainstorming part of it too. Like you were
mhm,
saying, Sam, there's one part as you're working with a new client, you're having that initial onboarding conversation. You're helping them hearing from them what they want in a website, helping them understand what limitations or what things they're not thinking of. And there's that part of the conversation where you need to keep it open, very brainstorming, human talking to that person. But then there's another part of that, which is like now after the call, transcribing all those thoughts, putting it all down.
mhm,
And that part can be that can be drudgery work, trying to recall everything. And so maybe that's sort of that place AI can sort of fit that hole where
mhm.
it, I don't know if you've used Gemini for recording calls and
Ooh,
then
yeah.
getting it to bullet point everything that you talked about in the calls. But is that kind of what you were meaning, Sam, is sort of like keeping that part human, then using AI afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, so as an example, we have our monthly podcast Circle Live, which you
Mhm.
lovely people will be on later this month.
Mhm,
Prior to an episode of Circle Live, I need to come up with a brief that helps other people, external partners, internal partners, understand what is this episode about, what are the important links, all the information. Um, I don't like that part of the process, coming up with a brief. Just to be honest,
Yeah.
I just hated it. It doesn't feel creative to me. It just feels like drudgery. But what I have been able to do with actually from help from some members of our team who understand this better than myself, I've been able to plug a template, a brief template into an AI that's blank, give it a bunch of facts that I know or notes from a meeting that I have. I can even transcribe, me describing it and putting it into Word, and then say, fit these facts into the right place in the brief. And it saves me probably an hour or two to do that. So that's exactly what I'm talking about, is like taking the parts that I do like and keeping those for myself, but the rest of it, I can use AI. I will also say that this is something that should always be said about AI. Go back and edit. Like I will go back and I will look just to make sure that everything is right.
Has it hallucinated? Yeah.
Right, exactly. Has it come up with something that's completely wrong? And I most of the time it's getting it right, but I think that the process of editing it also is a good thing for me too, and it's good for my creativity and my organizational skills, just to be able to see, that I know how this is supposed to operate and checking against what I know.
Right.
Here's a question for you guys, which is not part of the report, but on a personal level, I'm curious because my husband and I have completely opposite views about this. So the AIs, some of them are very much like an attaboy, like, what a great question, Sam. Well, you're so smart to think of that. Do you enjoy that when the AI is giving you props and just, telling you how great you are? Or is it something that annoys you? I'm really curious because I find it super annoying. I'm like, you machine, you don't have feelings. Stop it. And my husband is like, it makes me feel so good.
I feel like I like it, but not to the extent that it does it. For instance, recently, I've been planning a trip and comparing different hotel options and then different dates for being in different cities. And I gave ChatGPT the proposed plan. And I was like, do you think I should go to this hotel or this hotel? And it goes, as someone who really knows what this hotel is like, I was like, what do you mean as someone who? You're literally a robot. You've never been to this hotel. What are you talking about? To me, it feels like the same as the over encouragement of a need to over personify what is obviously not a person. I take issue with in the conversation and kind of makes me not trust it as much because I'm you're clearly just making things up. And if I can't trust you to just give me a straight answer, I wasn't looking for your opinion on the hotel, fellow human.
Do your math. Tell me the most probable answer. Yeah.
Yes, logistically or based on the reviews that you can find online, which is the option, not as someone who really know. No, you don't know anything. So I like when it is more honest about its own reality.
Yeah.
I have been fine. Or Sam, why don't you go? Well, what are your thoughts on that?
I hate it. I don't trust it at all. And this is where the prompt act as, I think, is really helpful because you can say something like act as my manager. And give me honest feedback. Or
I tell it, you are not my friend. Stop it. Yeah.
So I think, it and to varying degrees of success, but I think that continuing to, and sometimes I'll even just say, just give me the facts. I also think that another really valuable prompt I found is, and some of them do this automatically, but I don't think ChatGPT does. You can say, give me sources for your information, so that you can say next to whatever bullet point, it will give you a link to whatever it is, so that this is where it comes from. I can check against those sources. Yeah.
We use Notebook LM a lot at Squarespace, and it doesn't really hallucinate. And I also find it to not be as complimentary in every response. It does cite all of its sources, and it's really based on the information that you give it. So if you want it to just stick to the facts, but help you summarize them, for instance, after a brainstorm, I find it to be a significantly more reliable tool.
I
Okay.
love Notebook LM, and it also worries me because, well, at some point, I think it could just do our podcast for us.
I know the audio part of it is really good. It's really maybe one day we'll just throw in a LM audio, like generated one.
Who will
and
be
see if
able to
anyone
tell the
noticed.
difference?
A bonus episode.
Yeah, bonus episode.
You're talking about the automated podcast in Notebook LM,
Yeah.
but the one thing that I'll say that it doesn't do, and this it's going to be really creepy when it figures out how to do this, is laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It does
Yeah,
build
it's
in
awkward.
disfluencies though, like the pauses and the and the,
Yeah.
you know, which I think is creepy, but cool.
And again, it's all this is all still just like the worst it'll ever be.
Mhm.
A little terrifying. Well, let's move on to another portion of the report, which is about fears that web designers have around AI. So there's an entire section that talks about the top worries designers have about AI impacting their creativity and inspiration. And the top worries were 45% of Circle members are most concerned that AI will reduce opportunities for creativity or innovation. 40% were worried it will undermine their expertise or professional identity, and 29% were worried it will replace their judgment in complex or nuanced situations. So let's start here, maybe Sarah, with you. This feels less like the fear of replacement, like AI is going to replace a web designer, and more of the fear of erosion. How do you think web designers can protect or strengthen their creative identity in an AI-assisted world?
It reminds me of what Christy was saying about the email and wanting to write the email herself. I
Yeah.
think we have more more ability to control what we give to AI than I feel like maybe this question is like not your question, the question in the report is like alluding to, like,
Mhm.
If you don't want to give away the parts of your job that excite you or that your client is really paying for, then don't do that. Alternatively, for me, when I write an email, like, I love giving my emails to AI because I don't like writing emails and I feel like I'm using my real brain everywhere else. So I don't mind outsourcing that part. But I think that's the discernment, right?
Yeah.
Is what is it that is your like creative secret? Don't outsource that. Like, keep that within you, like find ways to automate systems that allow you to double down on that. And instead of viewing AI as a concern because it's going to like take away your ability to do that, how can you leverage it to actually allow you to do it more? I feel like you can just like go hard in the other direction of like, this does not creatively fulfill me. This makes me feel drained. And like, when I do this thing, I feel like I don't have enough energy to go be more creative. Okay, like, let's get that off of your plate. I think about how many times we've had conversations within our community about like wanting to scale and grow your business. And we always see finding clients being like a top issue for Circle members and web designers in general. It's like, okay, how can we like tap into AI to be like getting rid of these parts that make these like processes so laborious so that you can get to doing more of the work that makes you excited to be a web designer.
Can I add
Yep,
some
please.
data point from the report? Interestingly, we did see this come up later on in the report, and when we asked AI users how they were using their time that they were getting back from using these AIs, they were saying three things I'll point out. They were saying that they were using that time to improve the quality of their work, to spend more time on their creative work, and also to focus their energies on high-level strategic tasks. So really, that just gives you a broad view of what people are doing. But I'm curious from both of your perspectives.
Yeah.
You know, with any time that you saved, I mean, maybe how much time do you think you have saved, if that's a number that you can put to it, and do those three things that we've heard from people in the report ring true to your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, using it in that kind of strategic way so that it's creating time for me, freeing up time for me to do tasks that I enjoy instead of those drudgery tasks that we talked about earlier is really key. Although I think for me, the benefit of having the saved time doesn't mean that I'm necessarily doing more of the same thing. It's giving me time to explore other things. So, I just started a membership, and that's not something I ever thought I would do, but it's something I've been playing around with outside of Squarespace. Creating a YouTube channel that I monetized this year. And I'm like, I wonder if I could do that again with another channel. I want to do an experiment. I now have time to do that. And so it's giving me this time freedom to explore other things in my business that aren't the thing that I do day in and day out, which I think is really exciting.
Yeah, I would fully agree. It's giving me some time freedom to explore other things. But I'm truly saving weeks of work, or just the ability to explore like new ideas within coding. The AI coding with AI is just on a totally different level. And a new feature, testing out a new feature, testing out a new idea, what would have taken a couple weeks to put together truly takes in a couple hours, maybe. It is truly like that time has been condensed. And for right now, there is enough ideas, there's enough new things that I want to explore that I'm still staying in that coding space. I can stay in code. I can try out a different feature. There's an infinite amount of new features I want to add to my membership and RoboWill and all that. And I can play around with these new ideas really, really quickly.
Yeah.
But I also think that as AI becomes more ubiquitous and just gives everyone more and more time back, I think becoming multi-disciplined is going to become sort of like the Renaissance man idea. That's going to become more prevalent because that you can sort of merge all of these different ideas, all of these different fields that you're interested in into one and create new ideas. So I'm just seeing incredible amounts of time savings. Sam, I mean, you two, let's ask you this. Like, are y'all seeing any
What
of
do you
that?
do with your extra time?
What are y'all doing?
All that free time you have now.
all this free time that I've got. I am always looking for more time to read. I'm such a slow reader, but I know that it's really important. And so I'm always looking for more time to do it. I think that is something that I actually have found some more time for, actually, is just, in between meetings or whatever, if I have a couple spare minutes, I can pull out a book.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, I actually have it right here. I'm reading this very dark book called The Suicide Museum by Ariel Dorfman. It's about, it sounds very dark. It is kind of dark, but it's about this South American scholar's experience of the regime there and regime change, and sort of it's like a mystery. It's kind of exciting. And I don't think that I would have time to, it's like kind of thick too. I don't think I would have time to like really dive into something like that if I didn't have some of my time freed up from briefs.
I always love to hear what you're reading, Sam, because then I think about it in comparison to what I'm reading and I'm like, oh.
Trust me, Christy. Before this, I was reading a series of Superman comic books. So like,
good. I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl right now.
100%. So you gotta have the low with the high culture.
Okay.
I don't believe that's going middle brow.
It makes you a well-rounded person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sarah, what about you? Are you feeling like you're getting time back? And if so, like where are you putting that?
Yeah. At work, to be honest, I feel like AI kind of just helps me get onto the next task faster. So in a way, I've just replaced work with more work. But work that's more fun and collaborative and that I enjoy doing. In my personal life, mostly when I'm not at this job, I'm at my other job, which is planning my wedding. And
full time.
I have used AI a lot, like, things like, it's like silly things, like people give you their addresses, but they're all formatted differently. Instead of going through each individual column in a Google sheet, I'm just like, can you just format this for me? And then it's just like done. And then I can move on to the fun stuff, like layouts and like stuff like that, it's like, I'm actually finding this exciting. and it's making me feel like I have like a long to-do list right now. I'm kind of like, what can I like get off my plate and go give to the chat or something? But yeah, mostly it's just like getting to the parts of that are exciting. And one of my New Year's resolutions is to host more and have people over more. So hopefully not having to be so bogged down with these logistics tasks allows me to just have people over for dinner more often.
I love that.
Well, let me ask a follow-up question to that, because I'm kind of feeling this myself as I'm, because AI, I can ask it a hard question. I have a good amount of faith it'll give me a good initial shot at it. And it takes some time. So I'm finding myself bringing my computer into my kitchen and as I'm making dinner, I'll start a prompt, let it run. I'll go do something with food, come back. And so I'm like doing this multitasking. And I'm wondering your thoughts on like, is that going to be, and I hear y'all saying the same thing, you're sort of able to move through things a lot quicker. Is that multitasking, this is more of a prediction, is that multitasking going to be good or bad for y'all and just all of us in general in the long term?
I have a lot of concerns about like my own like mental well-being as a result of AI. Like, yes, the multitasking, I do that. It's running. I'm like off in another tab, like doing something. I'm like, cool, I hope I remember to come back to that. Or honestly, like, yes, I outsource the email. Well, usually I write the first draft of an email and I give it to AI. I'm like, you make this sound better. But like, am I like losing mental capacity? I don't really know. It's like, we're like, yes, we're giving away this like boring stuff. It's like, was that boring stuff doing something good for me? You know, like, was I more patient and like more disciplined and like more whatever when I was forced to write all my own emails? I don't know. In the same way that I feel concerned about like iPads in the hands of children, like I feel concerned about like AI in the hands of children, and also AI in the hands of me. So
yeah, right.
So now we're just gonna live through it, I guess. I don't really know how to prevent it, and I feel more concerned about being left behind than I do about like the impact that it might have on me. I feel like I can adapt, but I don't want to not know how to use it. You know, because it's going to be vital in everything, I think, going forward, in the way that, like, I don't want to be the person who's like, no, I really love my typewriter, you know?
Right.
But like, we all moved on to computers.
Yeah, right.
So, but then it's like, how do you use that computer? How do you use AI? That's up to you.
It's funny that you said that about just like it taking things away, because I think about that too. And I think about like my generation when we were growing up, like, we were just out, and like if our car got a flat tire, we didn't have a phone to call anybody. We had to figure it out. You know, we could be like, Mom, what do I do? Or text like, Dad, come help, or call AAA. It was just like, well, you were there and you figured it out, or you waited for someone to come and help you. So there was a lot of figuring things out. And I feel like with, you know, my daughter's generation, if that happens to her, she's like, I'll text Mom and then I'll call AAA and it's all taken care of. And I feel like maybe there's something different about our kind of grit or perseverance across these generations. And I worry about that with AI too. It's just like, if it's making things so easy for us, what are we losing? And like you said, maybe we're losing patience, or maybe some kind of, you know, cognitive thing that we're not even aware of. So that's something that's top of mind for me too. And also why I'm continuing to write my own emails.
Yeah.
I actually watched a video yesterday about the science of brain rot and what science says about brain rot. And, you know, everybody sort of knows this term now. I think it was the word of the year at Oxford last year. But the answer to like, are our brains getting stupider? Is our culture getting dumber? Has a lot to do with choice and the choices that you're making. They said that the study that they cited, which I wish I could cite because now I'm sounding like an AI, is that
we believe you.
Definitely people did worse on test scores after looking at TikTok, but it wasn't the content that they were watching. It's not that the videos that they were watching was bad. It was that they weren't, that swiping is not a choice that you're making, and that if you're watching YouTube, there's more choice you have in what you're going to watch next. So I would say to anybody who is concerned about us getting dumber or what it's taking away from us is just continue. Your brain is your own and your choices are your own. Find ways in your life that you can continue to keep choosing things. There are so many AIs out there. You can choose one over the other. You can choose not to use AI. You can choose to go read a book. You can choose to watch a movie or whatever. I think that is, I think, what is really going to differentiate people in this next level of what AI is going to be for us is just how much choice you're making and how you. That's not something you can ever take away from us.
I love that.
That's
The
really
choice
good.
is so important. Sarah, you brought up discernment before. I think, that's both of those are so, so important going forward. But I have to say, I do love how much time it saves me. So
Right. No, I think that's good. That's honestly, let's leave our discussion of this there. I think that's a wonderful place to leave it.
Mhm.
Let's do one more quick little ad break, but then we got our lightning round
Yes.
questions for
Oh,
you when we get
that'll be
back.
fun. Will, did you know that 44% of Circle partners have 10 or more years of experience in web design?
I did, because I got to read the industry report earlier, but I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Some of us have definitely been around the block. We've chatted about the AI related results today, but the report has so much more info in it. You can read the report. The link is on the screen. We dropped it in the description below. pros.squarespace.com for more stats and insights based on a global survey of independent creatives on the current state of web design and where it's heading next. And this is great because this is the 3rd annual report. So really awesome. We're going to be chatting about it even more with Sam and Sarah from Squarespace on Circle Live, the monthly talk show about all things web design, on Wednesday, January 28th.
Find links to the report and register to watch us on Circle Live in the show notes for today's episode. All right. Before we go, let's close out the episode with 3 quick lightning round questions. Christy, you want to kick us off?
Yes. And so I'll ask the question. Sarah, will have you answer first, and then Sam, you can answer next. What's your favorite app on your phone?
I think I'm going to say iMessage. It's the thing I do most on my phone. I don't keep any social media except LinkedIn on my phone. And most of the thing I do on my phone is text.
My favorite app is Focus Friend by Hank Green. It gives you this little animated bean that you can set up to, while you're working, you can set up for a timer, and while you're working on that timer, it starts knitting little socks. And then
I love the
once it's
bean
done,
that knits.
you know what I'm talking about? Have you used this?
Yeah. I don't
great.
right now, but I have in the past, and then I had to get rid of it because I was making the bean sad.
Oh, well. I mean, in my experience, it's not that much. It's not that hard to make the bean happy again. So if you want to go and revisit your relationship at some point, he's very forgiving.
I love Hank Green. Yeah.
All right. What's one boundary you wish you set sooner? This can be in your personal or professional life.
I have started charging my phone overnight outside of my bedroom. I plug it in right after I brush my teeth, and the first time I look at it is when I'm out of bed. And so I'm not texting, I'm not last minute Googling things, I'm not scrolling on anything before bed. I started doing a Sudoku or reading a book, and I'm just much more peaceful, and my screen time is way down. And also I get out of bed faster, which also just feels good.
Love that.
I started doing that at the end of last year as well, and 100% vouch. It's great. It is such a good. I'm not one to do habits like that. I'm not really good at those, but this is one for some reason I've stuck with, and I very much can vouch for it.
Yeah, I just leave my phone charger in the bathroom. It doesn't even move to my bedroom ever. It just stays there.
Not in the bedroom. Love it. Sam?
One boundary I wish I'd set sooner was no work emails on the weekends. This is something I figured this out, so I'm doing much better. But I wasted so much time in my 20s. I was just thinking about this. Some of my previous jobs, I would be working through the weekend, and I really didn't have to. I think that I wish I had just given myself that free time. But we're only moving forward.
We're only I get it.
Those are both boundaries I need.
Yeah, they're good. Jay is saying in the comments here, she also does it in a separate bedroom, phone in a separate bedroom. I guess it's more people are learning about it.
It's a
So
thing.
that's good.
I need to do it.
Yeah.
And our last lightning round question. What is your favorite book that does not have to do with work?
I love the book. Maybe you should talk to someone. It's about a therapist, her relationship with her clients, and then her relationship with her therapist. I love books about therapy. Highly recommend. It's one of the only books I finished, and it's like 400 pages. And I was like, I just want to start over and read it again. Like it was
amazing.
I'm due for a reread.
Tell us the name again.
Maybe you should talk to someone.
Maybe you should talk to someone. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta add that one to the list. My favorite book, I'm gonna go lowbrow, Christy. Sunday Comics.
Thank you. Make me feel better.
You're welcome. Yes. This is for the complete Calvin and Hobbes. I actually just bought the Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes.
Like a pocket edition that just came out. But I've read all of them just through my life and all the different various books, and I'm excited to actually like dive in again this year to just read all of them. There
was a satirical Goodnight Moon that was about Calvin and Hobbes that I read to my daughter when she was little. It was great.
Calvin and Hobbes is truly the best. There's so much
so good,
like deep philosophy built into it around this like cute story and comedy. I really love Calvin and Hobbes.
One of the great works of American literature, I believe.
Really
absolutely,
really is.
We can all agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you, Sarah and Sam, for joining us. And thank you all so much for listening. We hope you found this at least somewhat useful.
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. And if you really like us, leave us a nice 5-star review, as this really helps us grow the pod. Thanks again to Squarespace Circle. And thanks to our audio engineer, Ricky Gunton. We will see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. What?